So as a Hooked on Sydney presenter, I had a yarn with the boys to decide what were the best videos that we could make to help you, the viewer, when you're into fishing. So today's episode is all about choosing the best general purpose rod for you when you're on a budget. So there's three things you want to consider when buying your first good general purpose rod. Number one, you want to consider the line class. That's the weight rating. 1 to 3 kilos, 2 to 4 kilos, 3 to 5 kilos, so on and so forth. The heavier it is, all right, the bigger the fish you can bring in. Second thing you want to consider is you want to consider the length. Now the point of the length is the longer the rod, the more castability generally you're going to get out of it. All right, the shorter the rod, the less castability. So a 5-foot rod, a 6-foot rod, a 7 or an 8. So an 8-foot, especially something with a line class of about 2 to 4 kilos, is going to get you a good casting distance. The last thing you want to consider is the action type. So you want to consider, is it a spinning rod, an overhead reel, what kind of action class is it that you're looking at? All right, so today we're going to look at light spinning class rods. These are great first general purpose rods. All right, now so I've talked to you about the types of classes of rods that we're looking at for general purpose. We have Oscar here from BCF. He's actually going to talk us through some makes and models.
Right here I've got your T-Curve T-Series. It's the next series up from your T-Curve Inshore series, and T-Curve range and the Shimano branch is their higher end rods. Here we've got one that's sort of ultra finesse. You'd use it for strictly lure fishing. You can use it for bait, but it's not really ideal. It's got a nice action on it. As I said, finesse, so you're talking bream, estuary perch, bit of freshwater fishing. Nice cork grip handle on, they retail for about $269. Got one myself, awesome little rod, love it to bits, really sensitive tip on it so you can feel everything in the butt, definitely recommend it. Alright, here we've got your T-Curve Triple S Pro version 2 series. Really nice rod for your entry level fishing. They come into around about 70 bucks. I had one myself as one of my first graphite rods, used it for flathead. They're definitely more affordable than those of the other graphite range. Great place to start, they're a bit more versatile. This one here is a 2 to 4 kilos, so a little bit heavier than our last rod. You can use it for bream, flathead, and if you're an experienced angler, you can chase dew with it for fun. Okay, in here we've got your Berkley Drop Shot. This is the Gen 3 version of them. This particular model is a 2 to 5 kilo and it's longer than the other rods that we've been talking about. This particular model is 7'6".
Sure.
So it's ideal for your sort of land-based fishing, chasing flathead, bream. Again, because it's a bit heavier than the previous rods we've been talking about. Perfect for big flatties, school dew, just having a bit of a mess around on the land-based. So if you're looking for a rod around about $120 range, great for just casting lures at the beach, inshore estuaries, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, look, one thing I want to say too is that, my first lure rod that I actually got was a Berkley Drop Shot. It was the first generation, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I got it on special at a BCF store over at Auburn years and years ago for about 75 bucks, and I've still got it. It still sits in my garage, and I still take it out and use it all the time. Okay, so last rod, tell us all about it.
Alright, here we've got a Shimano Raider. This particular model is a soft plastics model, and it's rated to 5 to 8 kilo. Awesome snapper rod, and also really good for inshore fishing where you're going to be using big soft plastics. So if you're land-based, chasing big drop bed soft plastics at jewfish, also good for some kingfish. Really nice rod, comes from your Raider series, which is your Shimano's most popular series.
Yep.
It's that middle of the range price, around about $140. Great value for money, and like I said, can't go wrong with it, extremely popular.
One thing I want to clarify too, with these kind of rods as well, if I didn't want to just use it for soft plastics or lures, could I, throw a sinker and a hook on this and put some bait on it and let it go out?
Yeah, not a problem at all. All the reason for it being a soft plastic rod is it's a little bit more sensitive than your graphite rods, than your fiberglass rods, so you just got to look after them. They're a little bit less durable compared to your fiberglass, just don't bruise them, otherwise when you load them up they'll break. But in saying that, if you look after it, as long as you don't high stick the rod, she's all sweet for bait fishing.
Yeah, great, good to know. Thanks, mate.
No worries, bud.
There you have it, guys. There's our advice on how to get yourself a good quality general purpose fishing rod. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any further questions, check out our Facebook page, Hooked on Sydney, or otherwise we'll look forward to catching up with you next episode. Tight lines.